Alright, what's going on, everybody? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shaheen Masumi, and this video is going to be more of a conversation where we're going to talk about my story and how I got to the point where I am now as a full-time trader at 21 years old. So, since we're not going to be looking at any charts or anything, I didn't really have uh, an idea of what I wanted to show in the background of this video. So, while I'm talking about what happened in my life, I'm going to be playing a game of chess. Um, for those of you who don't know me very well, I like chess, I like poker, I like trading options. And if you play some chess, add me. I make a lot of new accounts. This is just a random name I came up with, but like I said, if you play chess, shoot me a friend invite or whatever, and maybe we can play a game. But I'm going to jump into a game, and we're going to start. Basically, my story starts around 5 years ago when I was a junior in high school, and my friend introduced me to stocks, and he owned equity in names like Google and Amazon, and he showed me. This was right before some sort of bull market. I wasn't too into the markets back then, but he showed me his portfolio and how much he gained in like a year, and he basically doubled his money at the time. And to me, a broke high schooler, that was just unbelievable. I never knew anything about stocks. I never understood the stock market. I heard about it, but I didn't understand what it really was. And that kind of led me down the rabbit hole to look into it, and eventually, I found penny stocks. That was the first thing I got interested in, and I ended up blowing a ton of money. I had a side job at the time working at a grocery store, and I would get my paycheck at the end of the week. I was in high school, so I was only working, not too many hours at the time, so I'd be making like $100 a week, and I would put it straight into my trading account and basically just blow it right away. Every week I'd put in money, try to buy these penny stocks, see if I can get a nice pump out of them, and it just wasn't working out very well. Then randomly, I'm not too sure of the timeline. This was such a long time ago, and I back then, I had no idea what kind of effect this would have on my entire life, but I was scrolling on Instagram, and I got an ad for this trading group called Focus Trades. If you're familiar with Simpler Trading, there's a trader in there named Taylor Horton who ran this group at the time called Focus Trades. And one second. Sorry, I'm thinking about the game. And that introduced me to the world of options. Basically, I joined this group. It was cheap. It was only like $10 a month. So, being broke, like at the time, not having too much to invest, this was a perfect introduction for me. And so I joined his group. If you know about Taylor, if you know about Simpler Trading, he loves trading those credit spreads. He does very well at them. Even back then, years ago, he was doing the same thing. And I tried it out for a little bit, and it just wasn't for me. I tried a couple trades on it, realized, this isn't my type of personality. I'm more interested in day trading. I saw some of his old videos. He used to day trade as well, and I was more interested in that. And so when I was in that group, actually, just like a week, maybe 2 weeks in to me learning about options, I sent a text out to that group, to the entire Discord chat, asking if there were any other full-time traders in the chat except for Taylor. And the first person who ended up responding to me was Chandler. One second. Chandler, Taylor's brother, who also works at Simpler Trading as a trader for them. I mention Simpler Trading a lot because, as you can tell from my story, they've had a huge impact on me getting to the place where I am now as a full-time trader. So I owe so much to these guys. Taylor, oops, I blundered my night. Yeah, like I said, I owe so much to these guys to, teaching me everything I know now. Um, Basically, Chandler reached out to me when I asked who else in the chat was a full-time trader, and we kind of hit it off. We became really good friends. We'd be talking every single day about the stock market. This was years ago before either of us really, fleshed out our specific trading strategies. And he, being older than me and being in the markets and a full-time trader way before I was, I basically got to see him as an already great trader continue to evolve and evolve over the years. And I attribute a lot of my success to that. Me understanding what it takes to, stay, um, what's the word? Stay, one second. To stay, in the game, basically. Um, and, I was learning alongside Chandler this whole time. Um, and meanwhile, I was in high school, going into college. I went to the University of Houston for I went to the University of Houston for 1 year. Meanwhile, I was still trying to go make trading work full time. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game. Give me 1 second. See if there's any way I can save this. All right, let's just go here. Like I said, I went to the University of Houston trying to make trading work full time. Me and Chandler, I'm learning all about day trading from Chandler. That was his main, source of income at the time. And I saw him, start implementing new indicators, new strategies into his system. I understood what it took to become a great trader. And after that first year of high school, that's when I really started to, carve out my own system out of everything that I learned from, Chandler. Um, and I created my theory levels. Yeah, this game is completely lost. I created my theory levels, which once again, if you know anything about me, you probably know about my theory levels and how they work. But yeah, in college, I created them near the end of college. Is when I really started to flesh those ideas out. And after that first year, I started to really understand the potential of where options could take me. And I understood how much freedom I would have as a full-time trader and how that could change my life. I'm going to resign this game. Let's just start a new one. So that first year of college finished, and my whole mindset was focused on. I knew what I wanted to be. I went into college, maybe not too great at trading for that first year, and so as a backup plan, I had college. I had a degree that I could get, but after that first year, I really understood that I wanted to be a full-time trader. And after having Chandler as my mentor for so long, I started to understand what it takes to get there. And so after that first year, I decided, this was when COVID happened as well, so kind of good timing for me. I decided to step away from college. I left college, got basically 3 jobs. I was working all different types of things, like a sales job, a pizza job. I was working at a grocery store too. So I left college, stayed with my parents for a little bit, and I was working, 7 days a week, nonstop, just trying to build my bankroll for my trading account to eventually go full time. And this lasted, I'd say, like a year and a half. I was working literally 7 days a week. I was grinding so hard because I knew where I wanted to be in life, and I understood what it takes to get there. And meanwhile, if I wasn't working, like I said, I was working 7 days a week, and when I wasn't trading, I was working. And when I wasn't trading or I wasn't working, I was sleeping. So I was really on that grind to just try to stack as much money as I could. Um, and then, as my bankroll uh, starts getting bigger, as my trading continues to improve, um, and I start saving more money, then the amount of days I was working these jobs, the 7 days a week nonstop grind, slowly start to diminish. So after like a year of working basically 7 days a week, basically no holidays, I started cutting it down to only 6 days, giving myself a 1 day break, then 5 days. Um, then a couple months later, one second, a couple months later it was down to 4, and then we get to the point where I was around a year ago from today. I was working 2 days a week, just the weekends, trying not to work at all during the trading week. And then eventually, around a year ago today, just completely quitting all my side jobs, and giving it a go as a full-time trader. And so far, it's been fantastic. This has been a great year. Profits have been really nice. And, as a trader, one of the biggest things I learned from my mentor Chandler, and what I've actually seen, not only just learned, but, seen um, in real life, is you need to be constantly evolving. Uh, I would see Chandler add a new indicator or learn about a new indicator, maybe try it out for a little bit every couple months and add it to his system. Maybe he would try it out for a little bit and then find out, I don't really need this. And he would get rid of it. But, you're constantly evolving as a trader, because the most important thing is to realize that the markets are constantly evolving. They're constantly shifting. There's going to be a market where there's going to be days in a row where VWAP holds perfectly, and it's the best indicator for trend. And if you just buy above VWAP and sell below VWAP, you're going to make a lot of money. That's a super basic example, but this happens all the time with different indicators. And, even going full-time around a year ago today, I'm still not where I want to be in terms of, a big goal. I don't want to be trading this exact same way, 2 years from now. I'd hope my system continues to improve, because I know that the markets will continue to change. And enough being said about this idea. The main point I'm trying to get across is, just because I'm a full-time trader doesn't mean life is easy now. It doesn't mean I can finally take a break. Oh, I made it. I have enough money on the side to support me while my trading account continues to try to build on itself and get me more and more profits. I'm not done working. In fact, now I have to work even harder. And, I owe everything to the people who've helped me get here. And that includes my parents, who, when I dropped out of college, they gave me a place to support myself while I got to the point where I am now, where I can finally support myself. And I also owe everything to that whole team at Focus Trades, Chandler, Taylor. I owe everything to them. I'm really focusing on the game here. But that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. Just kind of illustrate how I got to the point where I am now. Basically, I have a loving family who, for a little bit of time, while I worked nonstop, literally 7 days a week, if I wasn't trading, if I wasn't working, I was asleep. I was super on my grind. I had a loving family who would let me stay there and stack my money. Um, but, you know, my best advice, I have friends who I've been teaching on the side who are trying to get to the point where I am. And, I have friends who were working at those same places I was working, the pizza restaurant, for example, or the grocery store. And this game's over. I'm not focusing enough. That's checkmate. Um, let's play one more quick one. But like I said, I have a lot of friends who still work at those jobs that I was working at, who are trying to get to the point where I am now. And, they're asking me for advice. And, I think they already know what my advice would be. I think you know based on this entire conversation. Basically, don't quit your day job. Use it as a vehicle to get to where you want to be in life, and don't waste time. Especially if if you're. I realized that I was super blessed to have parents who would help support me while I'm on this grind. And if you are anywhere near the same as me, then oh my gosh, I did not mean to play that. Then my best advice is don't waste time. If you're living for free, if you're that lucky that you can live for free, he trapped his knight. Don't waste time. There's no time to be wasted. Life's gonna move really fast. So just you work extra hard. I was literally picking up shifts as much as I could. There was even days, weekends, where I'd go from my pizza job to my grocery store job, back and forth, just trying to stack as much as I could. Um, and I don't want this video to go on too long. You get the general gist of what I'm trying to say. Uh, for anyone who, as young as I am, who has a real interest in trading, my best advice, get a job, grind as much as you can on that job and trading at the same time. And in my opinion, if you do that correctly and you're continuing to improve as a trader, then success, in my opinion, is basically inevitable. And I'm gonna leave you guys on this. Um, I should win this chess game. I lost the first two, which were kind of sad, but this video did turn into some sort of a rant. Hope you guys didn't get too bored, but that being said, we're 18 minutes in. I already held you guys longer than I expected to, so I hope you guys have a great day. I'm recording this on Wednesday, actually, Wednesday night, but I probably won't post it till tomorrow on Thursday. I'm going to go visit my buddy Chandler this weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend if I don't talk to you until then. I should hopefully have a video coming out on Friday, though. I wanted to make one going over my entire week and how it went. Talking about every single day, all the trades I took. I generally only take around, let me just make a move. I generally only take around 2 trades a day. This week has started out pretty well. We're around break even on the day right now. A couple mistakes I made, but that being said, hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon.